Good morning. That's right. It's Show Banner, Show Kent, the adult, Show Geek, the adult, whatever you guys want to call me. I still got on my specs. Um, a lot of you guys been reaching out to me on Instagram, on Twitter, asking me about what I think about Gervonta Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia. Okay, it looks like it's starting to warm up. Okay, and that's the fight that's going to be made for December due to their Twitter fingers. My baby's still asleep. Can't help myself sometimes. I'm thinking a lot of things when it comes to that. First, Estrada versus Cortez. What a war. It was a fight that Estrada definitely needed to warm up because come December 3rd, Estrada versus Roman Gonzalez, that fight has been announced. Their third fight. Everybody's excited about that. But what a war. Cortez really pushed Estrada. If it wasn't for that knockdown, Cortez probably could have won. Okay. But with that said, that date, December 3rd, Gonzalez versus Estrada. You have Inoue versus Paul Butler in December as well. I think December 13th. I think that's like a middle of week fight though. And that fight is for undisputed. And now we're talking about, Teofimo Lopez. He has a date in December. You saw that I was confused thinking, wait, I know Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia fell through. That's what we were hearing. And then Ryan Garcia was going after Teofimo Lopez. And then I was assuming that Espinosa was saying that Gervonta Tank Davis was going after Teofimo Lopez. But Teofimo Lopez, either way, he has a date in December. So does Ryan Garcia. So does Gervonta Tank Davis. What I'm saying is, don't expect at all, and I don't think you guys have been expecting this, Errol the True Spence versus Terrence Bud Crawford in December. But good news business-wise for that fight, Errol the True Spence versus Terrence Bud Crawford next year early. Let me tell you what I mean. If Gervonta Tank Davis were to fight Ryan Garcia in what I think the biggest numbers fight in the world. What I mean by that is I think that'd be the most watched fight in boxing. I do. Maybe between that and Tyson Gypsy King Fury and a Usyk or something like that, or Tyson Fury versus an AJ or something like that. But I definitely think that's the big stage, Gervonta Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia. And you can piggyback off of that. If that fight is going to happen on Showtime or something, or Fox, or I don't know, provided by the PBC, you can piggyback off of that to make the most watched fight in boxing be a billboard advertisement for a made and scheduled Errol the True Spence versus Terrence Bud Crawford fight. That's how you would run the business. That's the best way to do it. You can't have Errol the True Spence versus Terrence Bud Crawford this year. There's too many things to compete against. Okay, October, Conor Ben versus Chris Eubank Jr., which I think is the slugfest. That's my favorite fight of the year. And which is why I'm not going too crazy over Gervonta Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia, though I really want to see that fight, but I would love to see any combination. Tank Davis versus Teofimo Lopez, Ryan Garcia versus Teofimo Lopez, any combination, I'll be fine, okay? But we have great fights, right? We already brought up Inoue versus Paul Butler. Now, Estrada versus Roman Gonzalez 3. We have Savannah Marshall versus Clarissa Shields and Meyer Bumgardner on the same card. We have Shakur Stevenson versus Constantine late this month. We have Triple G versus Canelo 3. We have Cam Bosas and Devin the Dream Haney in their rematch for Undisputed. We got some great things. Jermaine Ortiz, Lomachenko, his comeback. We have great things going on, stuff to be excited about. Right now, the Twitter fingers between Gervonta Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia, good, okay? At least it didn't completely fall through like we were hearing. It is something to be excited about if you guys love boxing and want to watch the fights. But I'm going to end this by saying this. Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia, and Ryan Garcia in the tweet saying December and saying to stick to your word and stuff like that means that it looks like Ryan Garcia, it seems through the tweets. Now, like I said, when it comes to Twitter fingers, believe what you want. Okay, it's just open. All right. But it seems through the tweets that Ryan Garcia has already, I'm not agreed in some sense, or he really like, hey, I'm making this fight. It's that now the ball's back in your court, and it's up to Gervonta Tank Davis. He's like, be a man of your word. So it seems like Ryan Garcia on his side that he's fine. It seems it's up to you guys who to believe. That's the problem with the whole mental health thing. When you hear Tyson Gypsy King Fury say one thing and say something else and do things like that, mental health is very, very serious. But when that person is your source, I can see why you guys aren't that convinced. Let me know how you all feel in the comments below. But I tell you, I hope that fight happens. And if so, I think that'd be a perfect platform to have a great fight like Terrence Crawford versus Errol the Truth Spence be a hype fight for the casual. Use Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia as a platform. Showbiz adult. Let me know how you all feel in the comments below. Don't forget, tonight, Andy Ruiz versus King Kong Ortiz. I will be calling that fight, and I'm out.